No. You could be president.
I would like to be in the U.S. Senate.
Okay.
That's a rough road.
Just going to say it's a little bright coming in. How about you?
I think a nice ambassadorship would be nice.
Ambassadorship, okay. Anybody else bold enough to?
Probably governor.
Governor of this state?
Yeah.
Or any state?
Any state, really.
Okay. Would you live here in Connecticut?
Yeah.
Were you born here?
Yep.
Well, it's a good place to start. Okay, great. Well, thank you all very, very much. How about you?
Oh, no, I was just going to say president or chairman of the Federal Reserve.
Wow, now those are two. Which one do you think is the biggest power position?
Federal Reserve.
Why is that?
Because they can pretty much control the economy and the interest rates and things like that.
Are they doing a good job right now?
They're doing okay.
Yeah. And what do you think about the debt?
I think the debt's a big problem. I hope we can get that down. It's really hurting our economy, in my opinion.
Me too. I absolutely believe that. So, I am Linda McMahon. I'm running for the United States Senate. Republican ticket. You might imagine that since I'm here speaking to you today. So it looks as though I feel pretty confident we'll have a primary next year in August, and I am planning on prevailing in that and then being the candidate against Chris Stott. He is the sitting senator, the incumbent, and from all indications he will continue and will run next November. So that's where the race is at this point. So let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, although I look way too young for that. And I've been married to my husband, Vince McMahon, for 43 years. And I'm not a politician. I've never run for public office before. But I'm a businesswoman. And a businesswoman who has spent the last 30 years building a small entrepreneurial business, a family business, to now a global company traded on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. And that company employs about 500 people here in Connecticut today. So I know about business. I know about making a payroll. I know about executing a business plan. I know that you can't spend your way out of debt, that you have to cut costs when you see your revenues declining and your costs increasing. So all of those business things I think we could take to our government today. So I've been asked, why are you running? Why did you decide to run for the Senate? And quite frankly, I just couldn't stand it anymore. I've been very successful in my company, and because WWE has been so successful, I'm comfortably in a comfortable and secure financial position. But it didn't always happen. So some of you might get out of college and have these great plans and find out it's not so easy out there, because my husband and I first went bankrupt. And that wasn't a great place to be. We lost everything. We lost our house. We lost our cars. We couldn't get any credit. So it's kind of a tough place to be. We had to rebuild and come back. And that's part of what you can do in America with the right opportunity. So as I sat and watched how this economy is continuing to shrink and the debt is just growing and growing to a place that I really think could destroy the American dream for generations to come in this country. So I'm a Republican. I am committed to fiscal conservatism. I believe in free market, free enterprise system, and I really believe in this country. I believe in America. And I think that Washington can use some fresh faces and some new blood and people who've had real life business experience. Because I think the next senator of this state is going to have one primary focus, and that is getting people back to work and fixing the economy. I think that's what's on the table today. We're in debt. We've got all these issues going because we are not getting people back to work. I think the vote next November for senator in this state is going to be a referendum on a Washington out of control spending. I think it's going to be a referendum on a senator who I believe has been part of that problem. A senator, I think, who's lost his way. That would be Chris Stott I'm talking about. And from what I'm hearing as I travel around the state, has really lost the trust of the people in Connecticut. On election day, though, every voter in Connecticut, all of you voters, all registered, ready to vote? All right. You're going to have to decide on whether or not you want to return a senator to Washington, you know, that's been missing in action, running for the presidency in Iowa instead of being in Connecticut, taking care of the people here, who at best, in my view, was asleep at the switch when the economy of this nation came to the brink of collapse, and who has accepted really large campaign contributions from special interest groups, the very special interest groups that he was charged to regulate. What we're finding in Washington is just overrun with career politicians who seem most responsive to special interest constituents. And I really want to be our party's nominee because next November I want to return to Washington the voice of the people of Connecticut and not special interests. And as a businesswoman, I really can't approve of the way that we've gone about trying to stimulate the economy. We passed a $787 billion stimulus package that all in is going to come in at about $3.2 trillion. That's a debt that our children or grandchildren, your children, grandchildren, won't be able to repay. You'll be working your whole lives just to get out of this debt. And even with all this debt, the stimulus didn't do what it was supposed to do. It didn't create any jobs. Maybe a few, but not anything what it was supposed to do. And the reason it didn't is because the stimulus money never got into the hands of small businesses, the entrepreneurs of this country, who create 70% of the jobs. The money from stimulus funneled in primarily to government agencies where it's just stagnated in bureaucratic red tape. I've talked to mayors who've had shovel-ready projects ready to go who aren't going to be able to get the stimulus money even though they've applied for it because it's just tied up. In addition to that, take a look at our deficit today. We started this year at about $500 billion. We are, according to figures last week, at $1.4 trillion today. And our debt is $11 trillion. And by 2019, it'll be about $23 trillion. It's just extraordinary. This absolutely has to stop. We've got to stop runaway spending in Washington. But in order to do that, we have to change leadership. We have to take back our Senate one seat at a time. And that's what I'm committed to do. I really am in this election to the end. But let's not underestimate Chris Dodd. He is a formidable opponent. He's Washington's guy. This past Friday, the president was in Stamford at a fundraiser for Senator Dodd, hoping to raise about $1 million for him, for this quarter. I'm running my campaign differently because I am able to self-fund my campaign. So I'm not taking any money from special interests. I'm not taking any money from PACs. And I'm limiting individual contributions to $100. Because when I get to Washington, I don't want to owe any special favors. I want to just be there representing the people of Connecticut. And I pledge to you that's what I'll do. So I'm here today and I'm out traveling across the state because I'm asking for your support. I want to be your senator and I want to return your voice to Washington. So I'm asking for your support and your vote and would love to have you join our campaign at linda2010.com. So that's my little spiel, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any. Don't everybody speak at once.
How do you think your experience as a CEO is going to help you when you get to the Senate and kind of reorganize how things are going there?
Well, unfortunately, a senator can't do what a CEO does, and a CEO comes in. I mean, if I wanted to change what's going on Monday in my company, and I just pulled my senior staff together and I said, okay, going forward, this is what we're going to do. So you can't do that in the Senate, but it's a collaborative effort that you have to bring everyone together. I think one of the first things I really have to make sure of is that I would have a really good, sharp staff around me, because I think that's critical. That's how I've built my business. When I've hired senior executives, I've always looked at them and said, if you don't know more than I do, I don't need to hire you, because what good are you going to be? So it's hiring people that have expertise in different areas so that I can be the best I can be.